Good evening, friends. Happy Saturday. Susan Campfield here with SueStampfield.com. I am going to apologize right off the bat. I am a little under the weather, as you can probably tell by this nasal voice. So I apologize in advance. Hopefully, you can understand me clearly. And yeah, I'm glad to be here. Welcome to my stamp room. My name is Susan Campfield. Stamp it up at SueStampfield.com. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're off to a great start, friends, aren't we? So glad to hang out with you here on this Saturday night. I'm here in Minnesota. It is kind of been overcast and kind of cloudy all day, but so glad to be here with you. We are going to make a beautiful set of cards tonight. I'm so excited. A few videos ago, Jennifer, do you remember when it was? We did a fun technique where you make 3 cards by stacking, cutting, and then shuffling the pieces apart. It's kind of like a puzzle, like an easy puzzle, like a 3-piece puzzle. And so we're going to do that card again with a different paper. This time we're using the gorgeous Shining Brightly Designer Series paper from the mini catalog. That time we used a 6x6 paper. I will show you those cards. This time we're using a 12x12 paper. So good. Let me know if you can, looks like you can hear me. Hopefully it was Tuesday. It was Halloween. Oh my gosh, it was Halloween. That seems like a really long time ago, but it was not a long time ago, right? Let me know what is in your cup. I am a messy crafter, and so I'm going to lose things tonight. And when I find them again, we all say found it, and we take a sip of our beverage. I have some hot tea in my cup because that's going to be good with my under the weatherness that I have going on right now. So, cinnamon tea, Good Earth, so good, so good. Caffeine free, so I won't keep me up late. All right, we're going to go ahead and get this party started. I do want to remind you that a couple things. So we're trying something new, and this will be the same this week as last Saturday. So tonight's card will be a blog post that will go live. My goal is to have it go live within 24 hours. So I'm Central Time. So Sunday evenings, 7:30 Central Time is my goal to have that live. And that will have the dimensions that I'm going to share tonight. And then I will do a project sheet also that will have the diagram. This one is, it's a little bit different because it's a diagram. So I think a printable project sheet would be really helpful. That goes out to my email subscribers. So if you go to SueStampfield.com, click on subscribe, you get all the things, right? You can subscribe to the blog, so you get the blog post, or you can subscribe to the project sheet, so you get the project sheet, or you can subscribe to both if you want both. So all the options tonight, right? All right, let's go back to this. I'm going to go down to the Snapple Raspberry Tea. That sounds good, Maureen. I'm going to go down to my desktop. Where's the button, Susan? Come on, hit the right button. There we go. Woohoo. All right, so let's look at the cards from last time. I'm going to say hello to my moderator, Jennifer Walsh. She was hanging out in the comments. Thanks for having my back tonight, Jennifer. I really appreciate it. I had told her I didn't know if I was going to be able to go live tonight because my voice is kind of wonky. But I'm here. I'm glad I'm here. And I'm glad you're here too, friends. All right, so these are the cards that I made previously in this I always have to think before I say it. Stack, cut, and shuffle technique. And we use the gorgeous All About Autumn paper for these cards. And you can see that it was 1 stack cut to make all 3 cards. So tonight we're going to make a Christmas card because one of the great things about this technique that I really like is that you're not making 1 card when you make it. You're making 3 cards, right? And what a better time of year to do multiples than Christmas, right? Because we often want to send multiple Christmas cards. So I thought, wow, this technique will really lend itself to Christmas cards. So that's what we're going to do tonight. But I like the shiny element. I love a bit of shine. I don't know about you. And so I love the Shining Brightly card. I would love you to tell me which one we're going to use. So in the Shining Brightly set, you get 3 sheets, 12 by 12 of the vanilla with the gold. So you've got the, let me hold it up here. Some, I guess I'd call that probably mistletoe-y type thing. Mistletoe-y, that's not a word, Susan. Mistletoe with the berries and the branches, and then some stars, and then whatever these are, just pretty. It looks like a fancy tile floor. So we have the vanillas, so we can do that with our stack cut and shuffle. I have to look at it every time on this printed out sheet or I can't say it. Or we can do the beautiful navies. So same patterns, but in navy. So you get a 12 by 12 sheet of all 6 of these patterns. So let me know in the comments, are we going to do vanilla? Are we going to do navy? Let me know, and then that will tell me what I need to cut for you here. So we have, Marcia, my throat is not sore, and I have my tea if it gets sore. So my bigger concern is if I start coughing, and I might mute my microphone if that happens. So if you hear some, like if you lose my sound all of a sudden, just know I just sparing your ears. So I also have a little piece here. So if you can envision for me that this paper is, 12 by 12, right? So when you cut it, you can cut a 6-inch piece and get 2 of those out. So this is 5 inches, and I'm keeping the extra 1 inch because we're going to use that on the inside of our card because we're going to have, leftover. Might as well use all those fun, pretty bits in our cards. So navy, 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 navy. One for vanilla. One says both. Several say both. Oh, more vanillas up here. A whole bunch of navies. Mix the 2. Vanilla, navy, navy, navy. Oh, gosh. It's looking like a dead heat tie, you guys. Oh, my gosh. So I'm seeing comments. Sorry if I'm wiggling the camera. I'm spinning through the comments here. So I get to see the comments for the people that are watching on Facebook and also the people that are on YouTube. All right. I'm seeing more of the blue, more of the navy. It's okay if you want to see the vanilla because you know what? Before this video, I did both of them. So I will show you at the end what the vanilla one looks like because that one is not going to be our choice tonight. I did not try mixing them. I personally have found with this card, it's easy to get it too busy. So that would be my concern when you have a really dark color and a really light color mixed together. It can get a little busy. So you do want to be cautious of that. With this one, we got away with it because the colors were all kind of unique and bold. And then we matched it up with one of them as the backing piece. This one, I decided to go with monochromatic, if you should say. So, all right, let's go ahead and let's get this party started. Okay, so we're going with the navy. So let me give you the sizes. I want all 3 of these pieces because we're going to make 3 cards, right? And these are 3 1/4 by 5, and there are 3 of them. I'll bring in the chart. I have to apologize because if there's any paper on my desk, it gets used for to stamp off on or to clip. I always everything on my desk because that's just a printed out paper has got something stamped on it. I don't know if you're like that too, but hey, it's I got to just grab it. I don't want to stop what I'm doing to go get a grid paper or anything, right? So I'm going to take a sip of tea here, guys, so I can keep talking. I have to lose some more stuff tonight just so I can keep my voice going. All right, so these are the dimensions, and this is the little diagram. This is how we're going to cut it. So all of that is going to be in that project sheet I talked about. So we've got 3 3/4 by 5. And as I mentioned, that paper, it's 12 by 12, right? So I might as well cut a 6-inch piece and then hack off this bit. So this is 1 inch by 3 3/4, and these are going to go on the inside of our cards. So we'll hold those off to the side here for later. And let's start with our stacking them, right? I got them all stacked up. I want them all nice and tidy. And then I'm going to grab, if you have paper on your desk, they get stamped. All right, you're my people, right? You know what I mean. I'm going to grab my paper trimmer here. And oh gosh, I just banged goodness gracious. I just whacked the microphone with my head. So if you heard a big thump, no worries, it was my head. It's very soft microphone. It didn't hurt it or anything, just might have made a weird noise on your end though. All right. So we've got our stack all stacked up here. Now, I wish I had down the name of the demonstrator who I learned this from. I've got it in the other video. I apologize, I don't have that at my fingertips because I do like to give people credit. So I will drop that in the description of this video, I'm cutting this wrong. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. This is why we look at this is why I look at the diagram. Diagram comes in really handy with this card. All right, so I want to cut at an angle. Now, what she said in her video is it really doesn't matter where you cut it. I'm not very good at what it really doesn't matter. Like, I'm a little more precise than that, so I like to have a guide. So what I like to do is line up the upper left corner at the 3/4 inch mark for this first cut. And then the bottom is swung out at the 1/2 inch mark. And that just, I don't know, it just makes my brain happy that I'm cutting more precisely. You can totally eyeball it if you want. What matters is that all 3 pieces end up the same size. That's the important bit. So this is one section of our card. We're now going to take this leftover piece and we're going to chop this into 2 pieces to make our 3-piece puzzle, if you will. And I'm just gonna, this one I am gonna be just a little more daring and just guess at. Let's bring that down a little bit. Here, we'll go like that, kind of cutting at an angle here. There we go. Each time you do this, it might look slightly different, but that's okay. They're not going to see the whole stack, right? They're going to see their card. All right, so we got that. I'm going to set this over here. Oh, look, I don't know if you can see that, but I have a random rhinestone has adhered itself to my desk. I'm sorry, you cannot stay there. Pretty, but no, you don't belong there. Okay. It's kind of like any plant that grows where you don't want a plant to be is a weed, right? Okay, so you can see how those pieces are, hopefully. You'd see it better if I had a lighter color behind it, but hopefully you can see that. And then we're going to keep this trimmer out here, and we're going to cut our cardstock. So this will be our card base. I'm going to cut one because I've already cut the others. So I'm in the US, so this is 8.5 by 11 cardstock, and I'm cutting it at 5.5. And I'm going to, excuse me, I might have to mute myself in just a moment here. I'm going to score it at 4.25. And let's score this. All right. So there we have our standard card base. I'm whacking I got cords. Oh my heavens. All right. Just get those out of the, cords everywhere. The joys of videotaping, right? All right, so we've got our card base here. And again, I've got 2 more of these. Where are they? Come on in. Well, I don't need them yet. They're off on the side, and hopefully I won't bury them too deep before we need them. All right, so let me think. I don't think I need to cut anything else because everything else is already pre-cut. So I'm going to set the trimmer aside, and in case I'm wrong, I'm not going to have it go too far away. So let's go ahead and crease our card base here. And then I'm going to put my pieces on here. Oh, you know what? I do need them. Come on, guys. Come on, join the party. All right, here we go. Yes, I'm talking to my paper. I'm weird like that. All right, here we go. Forgot, I'm making 3 cards at a time. All right. Getting a jump start. Let me know in the comments if you started your Christmas cards yet. Let me know. Please remove the banner, Susan. Oh, yeah, Arlene, that's a great idea. That is a great idea. There we go. Sorry about that. Wonder how many times I'll do that tonight. All right, so we've got our 3 card bases. We've got our stack that has been cut, and now we're going to shuffle it. And then we've got some other pieces of very vanilla. We are going to layer these pieces. When we piece them back together, we're going to layer them on a piece of vanilla. You don't have to do that. I think it gives you a couple things. In one way, it gives you a base to adhere to and a guide. And then in another, it gives you a nice contrasting pop. So on this one, we use the early espresso. You're almost done with your Christmas cards, Carrie. Wow. Look at you guys. Belinda's all done with her cards. You're awesome. I have not even, well, I'm going to have 3 done after tonight. Woohoo. And then the ones I've done in the other videos, right? So we've got these 3 pieces that are going to be our guide, and it's going to give us a nice little pop on our navy card. All right, so we're ready to do our shuffling. If I could sing, I would sing some song about shuffling, but I can't, so I'm not going to. All right, I'm going to start with this piece here. I'm going to pull that over there. pull this one over here, and there are my 3 first parts of my stack. So I've shuffled those 3. Now I don't want this one to go with this because I've already got a leaf one here, so I'm going to shuffle it to here. Okay. This one is the star pattern. This can go here with these smaller stars. And then this one, the smaller stars can go with the leaves. All right, so I've got those shuffled. And now I've got 3 more. These are really easy because I just look at which pattern I don't have yet and I fill it in, right? So this one's missing the leaves. So there we go. This one's missing the little stars. And this one gets the leftover one that has that pretty mosaic on it. All right, so there are our 3 pieces ready to be made into a gorgeous card. Oh, I'm so excited. So excited. All right. So let's bring in that Very Vanilla and we're going to get our adhesive. Oh, found it. Put it where it belongs. Okay, take a sip, everyone. I definitely will be sipping along with you tonight. No question about it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm using the Seal adhesive. You can use, whoa, come here, you. You can use your adhesive of choice, liquid glue, whatever. You know, I usually start with the long piece. Why am I starting with this piece? Well, I don't know. I'm doing it wrong. hang on. Let's. I like to use the longer piece because it's got 2 straight sides. Well, they all have 2 straight sides, but this one has longer straight sides. So they give me more of a overall picture. And I'm just looking at a very skinny border. This is this vanilla piece is 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. So it's just 1/8 of an inch bigger than my designer series paper. And so it gives you a 1/16 of an inch border, right? So I've got that stuck down. And now I can, since I already put sticky on this, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to match this up here so that I am about the same across the bottom and the side. And I find that if it's not quite fitting right, just overlap the other piece. You want the border to be all smooth and even. So let's go ahead and get this on. And then we're just going to repeat it with all the other pieces. All right, here we go. So there we have this beautiful piece together, easy puzzle, 3-piece puzzle. Let me know in the comments. We talked about this last time. Where are my puzzle people? I love to do a puzzle. This is the only 3-piece I've ever done. I usually prefer 1,000-piece, occasionally a 500-piece if I'm feeling lazy. And it is beautiful DSP. This is called Shining Brightly. It's in the September to December. Is that right? September to December mini catalog. And it is part of the start. What's the suite called, Jennifer? I want to say it's Oh Holy Night, maybe, is the name of the suite. And let's go ahead and do this. All right, we got our long piece on, and we're just going to piece it together just like we did the other one. I'm sticking myself to the paper. Oh my goodness. All right. You love thousands. Is the 1,000 pieces the highest you go? Yeah, we tried to do a 1,500, and man, that just took forever. I felt like I was the only one working on it too, which makes it go even longer. Like, I need some help here, people. All right, let's go ahead and stick this one on. There we go. All right. And again, I'm just making sure that, oops, I don't want this piece to be out of line with the other pieces on the edges. I'm okay with it overlapping here if I was a little off somewhere, but I want those borders to be nice and clean. All right, last one, and then we get the fun part. We get to decorate our cards, all right? And tonight, to decorate our cards, we're going to use the gorgeous Stars at Night bundle. And I'm going to show you how to make your own little embellishments on the center of your stars so that you can keep them really flat for mailing. Because if you do a whole lot of Christmas cards, you may not want to do extra postage. So we're gonna practice flat cards tonight, which is not always my forte because I love embellishments and I love adding lumps. So I try to rein myself in tonight and not do ribbon or we are doing an embellishment, but it's a nice flat one. So all right, and let's add our last piece here. All right. There we go. All right, so there we go. Each one is slightly different, but all gorgeous, right? Just so, so pretty. And this one is, Janine usually make flat cards. They are cheaper and less work to mail, right? So now we're going to layer this onto our card bases that we had already done. Easy peasy. I'm sure you probably figured that part out, right? I'm just going to, throw in the adhesive. We're getting wild here, friends. It's a little wild Saturday night at Sue Stampfield land. All right, let's bring in, I'm getting all mixed up. Here we go. Here we go. All right, let's stick this one on. And I usually just do it the same way where I have that bigger long triangle on the right. Totally don't have to. I just, creature habit, I guess. All right. And I think it looks cool that they're all matchy, but different. So makes me happy to do it that way. And whatever makes you happy is a good thing, right? While we're doing this, I want to thank each and every one of you for making and sending handmade cards. Together, we're going to make the world a kinder place by just sending those paper hugs in the mail, right? All right, so there we have our 3 beautiful cards, and we're ready to do some decorating. So I'm going to stack them up and slide them off to the side, and I'm going to bring in the die cutting machine. And we're going to have a little die cutting embossing fun here. So we are using the, okay, I'm going to slide this over here, and I'm going to grab, what are you going to grab, Susan? Oh, wait, you know what? I was going to stamp something first. Oh my goodness. Oh, you're all such patient people. Okay, give me a second here. We're just going to, we're going to pile that on the chair and hope it doesn't fall. We're going to stamp, we're going to stamp a greeting here, and we are using the gorgeous Stars at Night stamp set. We're going to put wishing you the best and brightest holiday season on the front, and I'm going to put Merry Christmas on the inside. You also could put celebrating the magic of the season if you prefer. So we're going to do this one on the front, and this one has a super awesome matching label in the die set, and I was worried I forgot the die set, but I see it right behind me on my chair. We're all good. So I'm going to ink this up, and I'm going to stamp it right here. This piece of Very Vanilla is, what size is it, Susan? Well, that's a good question. I believe it is 1.5 by, Jennifer knows, 1.5 by 3.25. And I already did the other 2, so we're just going to die cut this one. But keep in mind, you're making 3 cards, so you would want to do 3 of these. All right. So I'm going to grab this, and now I think I'm ready to cut here. So, all right, here we go. Bringing in the die cutting machine. All right, friends, are you ready to make beautiful things? Let's actually start with our stars because they're so gorgeous. So we're going to start with the platform number 1. And when you order this, this is called these, if you get the Stars and Night bundle, you get the stamp set, you get an embossing folder that makes these gorgeous stars, and you get the die set. I already have one of the dies in my embossing folder. This is what we call a hybrid embossing folder. It cuts and embosses at the same time. And here is the rest of the dies in the set. This one does a star opening in your card along with some little holes around it, so you could die cut this in the navy and put gold behind. Just some pretty dies. We're also going to use this one right here and some of these. Where is my I cleaned my desk and now I can't find anything. Oh, here it is, my magnetic dish. I'm just going to take out these dies, these are going to make our little embellishments for our card. There's even smaller ones here if you prefer that. And then I need this right here. All right, so I've got all the dies I need. But we're going to start with the stars. So we're going to cut these out of gold. And I have a piece of the gold foil here. This is 5 inches by 5 inches. And I'm going to open up my embossing folder. I have these stars nestled in a cutting side up. So that's the ridge that I can feel. So the flat side is on the Stampin' Up! Logo and the cutting side is up. And I'm going to put the foil face down, the shiny side face down here. And close this up, and I'm just going to double check. Hopefully you can see. I can see the stars, the shape of the stars from this side, and I can see that we're all on the paper. So I just want to make sure it's on the paper. And this is the part that feels really odd. Because this is a 3D embossing folder, regardless of the fact there's a die in it, we're going to use just one plate, and that's the number 4 plate that comes with your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. It's the gray one. And we're going to crank that through. So this one piece is going to get us 3 stars for our 3 cards. It was like it was made to go with this technique, right? We're working in triples tonight, friends. It's a triple play card. That's what we should have called it. If I was a sports person, I would have thought of that, but I'm not. All right, so I'm going to flip this open, and you can see the beautiful embossing that's added to our piece of gold. And boy, metallics really take the embossing. It just really pops. And so you could just do the card just like this. I mean, it is just absolutely stunning, the detail on that. So I'm going to pull those out. So those will go on our card. We've got 1 for each card because it cuts 3 stars. And then I'm going to set this aside. And I'm going to bring in the number 2 thin die adapter, and then a number 1 plate here, or excuse me, number 3 plate, I'm sorry. And then we have this piece that is left over. So when it cut those stars and embossed the rest of that 5 by 5 piece and gave us some beautiful stars on this, we're going to cut some of those out. So if you recall earlier, I pulled out a few of these dies. These smaller stars, you get 2 of each die. This is a magnet dish, and it really didn't want to give up the star. And now I'm going to match it up with there is a star that matches this on the embossed part. I'm going to lay it right over that. There's another one over here. So I'm going to lay the other. So I'm using 2 of the 2 dies that have the long pointy tails, I guess you would call it. And the 1 star that is a little bit shorter and wider. And match it up with the matching star on this piece. Okay, so let me bring that up so you can see. I've got 1, 2, 3 for our 1, 2, 3 cards. These will be layer pieces. We're making our own little embellishments to go on here. It's going to keep our card nice and flat for mailing. And we're going to put this piece on and send it through. I was worried the first time I did this that it would totally flatten out the embossing, but it really didn't. And the reason I don't put these dies in the folder like I do the other one is you can see they're solid, so it would be really hard to, they wouldn't nest in the folder like the other one does. All right, so we have already lost one. It's on the floor. It's actually on my foot, so it didn't go too far. Put those back in there. Oh, actually, the piece it cut out, the piece that got cut out is on my foot. The die has gone AWOL. Oh, found it. Take a sip, everyone. By the way, today was the Stampin' Up! On stage at home virtual convention. So I have my, hang on. I have my on stage socks on. Oh, they're covered in dog hair. Well, I shouldn't show you those then. Anyone else, if any of my demonstrator friends watching that went to took part in that today, let me know in the comments. All right, so I've got those out of the way, and we're going to cut one more thing, and that's our label. Now, keep in mind, if I hadn't already die cut the others, I would have stamped 3 labels, and I would die cut each one individually. But to save a little time, since my family is waiting on me for dinner, well, they may or may not be waiting. They may have gone ahead without me, which is fine. I thought I would cut those ahead of time. And since your time is valuable as well. All right, let's slide that over and stick that on. And then we're going to die cut this. Now I'm using the Post-it note to keep it from shifting because I want that die to, I can't turn it because my scissors are in the way. I want that die to not shift on me and to be perfectly lined up with that greeting because it's literally made to go in this label. All right, so here we go. It was amazing. Ah, so fun, wasn't it, Maureen? Oh, I loved it. We got to see the brand new mini catalog and the brand new celebration catalog, and we've got a ton of ideas with the new products, and I can't wait to share with you guys. So stay tuned. It's coming. All right. I'm just going to put that back where it belongs. Okay, so we've got our beautiful die cut right there. Let's put this aside. And I think we're ready to put our cards together. So I'm not gonna close that up because I need it to stamp some things. Let's just do the rest of the stamping, shall we? And then we'll put our card together. So in a perfect world, I would have found them, 3 4 by 5 1/4 inch pieces to go on the inside of our card. I'm going to take a couple other stamps from the Stars at Night stamp set. This first one is a beautiful Merry Christmas in an absolutely gorgeous font. And I may or may not stamp straight. That one I wasn't so straight. Cool thing about cursive is you really can't tell if it's not perfectly straight because it's slopey anyway, if that makes sense. And then we have this spray of stars. And I'm just going to stamp that into kind of just arches perfectly over that M. I love that. And one more. Boom. Triple time stamping. Here we go. All right. Triple play. All right. Closing that up. Let's grab ruh-roh. I've got one. Oh, found the other one. Found it. Take a sip, everyone. It was hiding. All right. I think we're ready to put our 3 cards together. All right. Let's bring them back in here. So those were our beautiful card bases. And here is how I chose to do it. First of all, let's add our little, we're making our own embellishment. So I want you to let me know in the comments. On my initial cards that I made, I adhered these with glue dots. And then I put the whole star up on a dimensional. Let me know if we're going to do the big star on a dimensional, or if you would rather us do the small star on the dimensional and put the big star flat. So let me know big star or small star, and so I'll know where you want the dimension to be. Let me know in the comments. And while you're letting me know that, I'm going to go ahead and stick on the greeting. I am going to pop the greeting up on dimensionals. So dog hair, cat hair, and feathers are normal embellishments in your world. The dogs would not vote for cats, so I don't know what they'd feel about a bird. I have a bird feeder, and I love watching the birds come to the feeder, especially the black-capped chickadees. They're just so cute, and they eat 1 seed at a time. They're not piggy like some of the birds. 1 seed and they leave. So let's see. Big, big, small, 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 big, big, small. All right, it's a mixed bag. All right. Big and small. I'm seeing a few more smalls than bigs. So, oh, I just smeared it. I can't believe I did that. Oh, Susan, what are we going to do with me, you guys? All right, we're just going to pretend it's not smeared. You all know I'm going to be ripping that off later and replacing it, right? Because I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, I have to admit. All right, so I've got more votes for small, more votes for the big star to be flat. All right, so these 2 of these I'm going to put near the bottom with about the same amount of space on the bottom and the sides. This one I'm going to put higher up, but because the smaller star is going to go on this card, but I'm going to put the star on first to decide where that goes. So let's add our quote-unquote embellishments. I'm excited to see what this looks like. Most people, the majority, barely, voted for the small star to be popped up, and I haven't done it that way. So I will have a sample here that shows you what it looks like flat. I'm excited to see what it looks like popped up because I haven't tried that. So I've got my little mini dimensionals here, and I'm going to just put it right in the center-ish, mostly center of the star. And remember, we were just using waste to do this. So, and we could even get more, like you could get other things out of this. I mean, I wouldn't waste all that, right? There's lots of good to be got out of that still for other projects. All right, so this one that's a little bit wider, I'm going to put it on the smallest star. Right, like that. Oh, that looks nice. Good choice, guys. Just kind of pops it up a little bit. Hopefully you can see that. And then put one of these. These are longer and skinnier. So I'm going to put one on the biggest star. Oh, and it helps. It sticks better if you take the backing off, Susan. Yep, probably true. All right, there we go. And then let's bring in that other medium-sized star right here. And we're going to put the other long pointy star on it. All right. And we're going to put, add a little something else, a little extra sparkle in the middle of these. I'm pushing my camera down closer. We're going to use some sequins. These are the pastel adhesive back sequins from the annual catalog. What I like about the sequins is that they're very low profile. They do have the sticky right on them. We can use a small one or a big one. Let me know in the comments if I'm going to use small or big on that. And while you're voting for that, I'm going to go ahead and grab my dimensionals. So small or big on the sequins. If I was making all my Christmas cards this way, or at least a large selection of my Christmas cards, I would do some with big and some with small. Either one looks good because I've done both. All right. Yeah, kind of like it's popped up too. All right, Lynn. Fran says small. Let's see. Small. Few more. Oh, yep. I see more voting small. All right, let's go with the small. Got my dimensionals at hand. And I'll show you what the big ones look like on my other. I think I have big on the vanilla ones that I'm going to be showing you here in a minute. So. All right, there we go. Now, if you like a lot of dimension, you know what, I pulled these out forgetting that we weren't going to use those. If you like a lot of dimension, you could also pop this up on dimensionals, but keep in mind that will make your card, that will add a little thickness and bulk to your card. I'm trying to keep it flat, so I'm going to actually put it on with glue dots, which would require, oh, found them. Take a sip, everyone. I found them. Oh, I need a sip really bad. My tea is still delicious. Not as warm as it was, but still fabulous. All right, so because this embossed star is a little, you see the depression in the center? I'm actually going to put the glue dots on the outer edges where it's not pressed in as far, or it's not going to quite hit the cardstock or the designer series paper, I guess I should say. I don't want this to fall off, right? We like our cards to show up, you know, in the same way they left our house. All right, so there we go. And we're going to pop that on there. So there's a big, bold, beautiful star on our pretty background that we made with that stack, cut, and shuffle technique. So let's go here. And we're going to do this little one. And that's going to help me decide where to put that last banner. So on this one, I actually like to put the star on first. The other two, I prefer to put the banner on first. I don't know. Probably doesn't matter. And keep sticking myself to the star, you guys. Oh my gosh. It wants to go to my finger, but it needs to go on the card. It's not cooperating. All right, there we go. So I'm going to put that right here on my card. So pretty. And then let's add our greeting. So these two greetings, I left a border around them. This one, I'm going to put a little higher up. So these have, I would say, about a 1/2 inch border all the way around. This one is going to have a 1/2 inch border on each side, but it's going to be more like 1 inch up from the bottom. Maybe even more. I just eyeball it. All right. And that just gets it closer to the star, and the star's not lonely then, right? So there's that one, and one left. And that's this medium-sized star. And then we'll put the inside on and it's done. And then I'm going to show you the vanilla version that many of you voted for as well. And then it will also show you what it looks like to not have a dimensional on the little star piece at the top. All right, pull that off. There we go. Such a pretty, this is probably one of the prettiest hybrid folders we've ever had with these stars. Just absolutely gorgeous. Excuse me. All right, here we go. Oh, wow. It's so pretty. So pretty. All right, 3 Christmas cards almost done, friends. All right, let's grab our inside pieces. We're going to pop those in. And then we'll take a quick look at the vanilla version. So it's going to add some adhesive to the back here. Open this up and pop it in the inside. And then, wait, do you remember that little 1 inch by 3 3/4 inch piece that we had was left over from cutting the front? We're going to put that right on the inside. You don't have to do this. You could save this for another project if you wanted to. But it's just a really fun way to bring that sparkly gold on the outside onto the inside of the card as well. Okay. You keep clearing your throat for me. I'm so sorry. Let me take a sip of water. That'll help. For the first time ever, I need to lose more stuff, you guys. Okay. Let's go ahead and pop this one on. I was doing so good earlier, but this is the most I've talked today at all. So, all right. There we go. And I spent most of the day in bed watching On Stage, so resting up so I could talk to you guys, except for when we were doing our make and take projects that I did get up and do at my desk. So pretty. I love them too. I'm so glad you guys like them as well. Just gorgeous. And think of all the designer papers that you could do the same stack, shuffle, and cut method with. Again, you want to do a paper that you wouldn't want a paper that has super busy patterns on it because it'll be like, whoa, you're kind of making a quilt, really, when you think about it. And doing it monochromatic like this, it's going to be gorgeous no matter what, right? So, okay, this one I clearly have to fix because my ink was a little wet when I put it through the embossing, I think, or I got a little water on it, or who even knows? Who even knows what happened there, but I'll fix that. So there we have our set of 3 gorgeous cards with the stack, cut, and shuffle technique. Now, this is going to be super hard for you to read, but don't worry. All these dimensions are going to be on the blog post, and then there will be a complete project sheet on this on my, let's give you that again. Excuse me. If you go to SueStanfield.com, click on subscribe, you get that project sheet. You can subscribe to the blog so you can see it when it goes up, and it should be by tomorrow night by 7:30 p.m. Let's look at the vanilla version because you want to use all of the paper in your pack, right? You want to maximize and just use all of them. So here's the vanilla version. And I went ahead and I used Night of Navy as the layer because Stampin' Up! Actually has navy in our neutrals. So I don't think of navy as a neutral, but it actually is a really nice neutral with this vanilla. You could certainly do black or brown, but I like the softness of the navy. And then I was able to use navy ink for the greeting because I had that little bit of navy on there. So, and of course on the inside, I also did that piece across the bottom. This one I didn't even need an inside layer because it was already a vanilla base. So that made it really easy. So let me know in the comments, which is your favorite? Now that you've seen them all, do you like the vanilla or the navy better? Or would you do all of them? Clearly, I did all of them because I liked them all. So let me raise the camera up. They won't even fit on my camera, you guys. So many options. All right, so this one, let me hold this up. This one, the star is raised up on dimensionals and the front piece is flat. And honestly, I feel like it looks more dimensional with the way you guys chose to do it, which was put the little piece up on the small dimensional. So well done, you. I think that was a really good choice. And it actually gives it more of a pop and a layered look. So I think I might have to change it and have them all that way. So you like the vanilla best, Fran? Can I put the map up again? You bet. See, when I cover everything up, there's the map. And it's just, again, you can change this, but it really helps me. I'm a visual learner, so it really helps me to visualize it and take a look at the little diagram when I cut it. So this will be right in that printable PDF. So you can just print that off and keep that in your stamp room and go to town, right? So you like them all? Oh, good. Vanilla's a little more showy. Yeah, maybe it is. There's something elegant about a neutral color, isn't there? Oh, but they're both, gosh. Yeah, pretty gorgeous. All right, let's go ahead and flip the camera here so I can say goodbye. And I can go get a beverage. Oh, it's right here. I don't have to go anywhere. Yay. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me. I apologize again for the voice. I will be back Tuesday night at 7:30 Central, as long as I still have a voice by then, and with another creative project. So feel free to subscribe to my channel, or if you're watching on Facebook, to my Facebook page, so that you'll know the next time I go live. And thank you, each and every one of you, for making and sending handmade cards. Together, we're making the world a better place. Cheers, everyone. Have a great evening, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.